Hi, Chris White here, and welcome to the Chris White Challenge, number 7, Ancient Sumeria, suggested by Brother Dave from Pittsburgh. He's a jerk, but it's his birthday, so I did it anyway. 5 minutes, all about ancient Iraq, chriswhitesucks.com. Check out website. How you like new digital camera? I like it. Oh sweet Jesus, I'm out of shape.
It's pretty horrible, the stuff that's going. And people think Iraq's like, oh, this is just messed up. They've been fighting there for 5,000 years. That little chunk of land, people have just been fighting over for no goddamn reason. They've had 5,000 years to fix up the place, and it's like they still have appliances on the front porch. It's sad. And they have not appreciated the value of that place in the least. It's all these. That was like the oldest civilization in the world, was like Iraq. So the ancient Sumeria was back there, like 3000 BC. All these city-states around a fertile crescent, which sounds like a dirty breakfast item at Burger King. Horrible. But they did everything. Like they did the first everything. They had the first system of writing, written language. Which I mean, that without them we wouldn't have paperwork, and they were the first people to use the wheel. And so without them we wouldn't have rush hour traffic. And they were the people who invented the concept of hours and minutes and seconds. And so we wouldn't have the 9 to 5 workday. Without them, so fuck ancient Sumeria. Yeah. But they had the first written language. It was like cuneiform, I think it was called. That was like the first ever written language. And what's kind of cool is like if you knew how to write it though, that was your job. Like only a few people knew. Like that was you were a scribe, and that was your very specific job, which is that's going to be a great job because no one could ever double check your work, right? They're all illiterate. They can't do anything about it, right? You can get away with all kinds of shit. You just carve the laws into this stone tablets in the middle of town. Like, and the penalty for 20% money when this. Everyone gets death for everything. All right. Right. I'd be adding my own laws at that point. If no one's going to double check your work, it's like, yes, and if anyone ever says a scribe was gay, even though he just explained that it was an experimentation phase in college. Death by chiseling. Yes. This is the law of the land. They had the first ever piece of literature, which was like the Epic of Gilgamesh, which I'm sure you're all familiar with. Paperback. That's an exciting story. He was like the king of that area, Sumeria. He like fought dragons and wrestled the gods and like killed demons, and it just makes you realize how very little we ask of our leaders these days. That should be in the Constitution. It's like, hey, if you are elected the president, you are commander-in-chief of the armed forces, and also, if we get a bad harvest, you have to find the dragon responsible and to the death. And at that point, I become a single-issue voter. It's like, yeah, I like what Gore's saying about the environment, but I don't think we can put the beast of Orak Nagath in a headlock. We have to do more military presses. They had cool religions, though. Every city was dedicated to a different god. That was like their professional sports league. It was pretty cool. And they had like crazy. They believed that the world was a gigantic flat disc floating on a tremendous ocean, and that the sky was a dome made of tin. And like I think that the universe consists of me. Actually, I wish astronomy worked like that, because then that'd be great if like the guy from NASA called a press conference and he'd be like, well, we have some good news. We launched that probe from Mars, and it turns out that Mars is a gigantic triangular piece of astroturf on the back of a giant hippo. The bad news is the probe seemed to have angered the hippo, and he's headed this way. But I was watching a special on it the other day. That's why I was thinking about this. That's why I was thinking on National Geographic. They had these ziggurats, these temples. So it's like the old pyramid step temples that they had back in Iraq. And that was like their big thing. They thought it was like a stairway to the heavens. And they have like one left in Iraq. That's an one ruin they have left. And all that's left there's like that ziggurat. That's all that's left of the city. And like broken pottery. They said broken pottery everywhere, up to your knee. And the guys were pulling out these pieces of broken pottery. And like this guy was holding up a tiny little shard of pottery. And he could tell you everything about is like, yeah, as you can clearly see, this little 3 by 2 inch piece of earthenware came from a sacrificial prayer drug. It was made by a guy named Bill. He was left-handed. He did not like his wife. And he died of syphilis. And you're like, wow! Like, God, I hope no one finds the ruins of my house like 1,000 years from now. It's like, this is an I Hate Mondays coffee mug. And we're judging from it. It was a guy named Chris White, and he was probably gay, but was afraid to admit it. Nice job. That was stupid. I did all those jokes on a date.